Hey guys, welcome back to Blind World. I'm your host, Wendy Flores. This is episode 8. Many of you guys know that I haven't uploaded the podcast because I want to do a special interview from one of my friends that I met at the IDB Center, and her name is Soo Kee.
Hello everybody, I'm Soo Kee Jones.
Hey, Soo Kee. My podcast is Blind World, and it's about talking about the misconceptions that people don't understand. They just need some more information, and there's people out there who wants to be educated on what's right and what's wrong. I know that we met in the IDB Center in Iowa. She is blind, totally blind. Would you like to talk about your eye condition?
Yes. I was born in Cheongnam, South Korea. Back then, we were pretty poor. We didn't get, we couldn't get enough food, and we couldn't get enough vitamins and minerals. My sisters caught the rickets, which is a bone disease where the bone is very brittle, and I caught the measles, which children got nowadays. The high fever from the measles caused my blindness.
We met. You were really shy, and I was shy too. And a lot of people tell me, you're not that shy. And I'm like, yeah, I am shy. I'm the one who spoke to you first. I think it was during business class. And I was like, hey. And you're like, oh, hey. And that's when we started to talk. That's all I can remember.
I know we did. We went out to eat with the group a lot.
Yeah, there was
a group of us that went out a lot. I think we started hanging out more towards the end when came president. At your graduation, I remember we went to a Mexican place, and you and I were walking together at a point, and we talked a lot then.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I know we did a lot of outings together, and that's mostly where I might have met you.
Yeah. It's fun back in the center. We had some pros and some cons, right?
But I can't remember if you were in any of my classes. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. The only thing that I can remember is that mostly you will come in for the next class, and I had to leave and go to my next class. So we'd always say hi in the hallways.
We did do that.
So what's your favorite thing to do in life?
My favorite, there's a few things I like to do. I like to read a lot of books. I learn a lot from reading. Yeah. I think you can gain a lot, read a lot, and learn a lot from just reading books. It also helps me with grammatics and English and things like that. But I also a lot of singing. I like to play violin, and I've been learning Spanish lately.
So I know the one thing that inspired me the most with you is you use Braille, and it's so satisfying how my friend Soo Kee, she will write really fast. Someday I'll be up there, but not right now. But someday. How did that happen?
I started learning Braille at the age of 5. So I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my TVI teachers, what they called vision teachers at that time. Mm-hmm. She took me to a restaurant, Denny's, for breakfast. Uh-huh. And she gave me this Braille book, with 2 rings on it, basically. Mm-hmm. And it was thick. Yeah. Each page had 1 sentence.
Nice.
So she had me read this, and it was something like, it might have been like Jane and somebody. I can't even remember the title now.
Yeah.
That was really short sentences. And she said, well, if I read the whole thing, she would take me out for ice cream.
Oh,
So
wow.
I did. She used to take me everywhere as long as I was like reading Braille, and then I got another TVI teacher or vision teacher at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And she always told me that Braille was going to be really slow. That was going to be writing Braille, reading Braille is just a slow process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I always thought. So my slate writing and my reading was really slow when I was a kid, because that's what I was taught, that, okay, you're going to always be a slow reader, a slow writer. And I went to the Colorado Center for the Blind, and they said, well, I had to take Braille. And I fought that for a while. So why should I take Braille? I didn't know Braille. Mm-hmm. The teacher said, well, you can always get faster. I'm like, okay. So I suppose, but I fought him all the way through that. And he had me do a lot of slate writing. I could not use the Braille writer. I've written stories in Braille with a slate. I even pretended to lose my slate stylus, but just so that I didn't have to use it. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, he just hands me another one and said, well, here's another one. So that idea did not work.
Yeah.
I would just leave it at home and say that I lost it just on purpose. Mm-hmm. And then he ended up giving me a book that I had to study. And then he would read me the book and I would write the notes. Mm-hmm. And then he would give me the test on the notes. So at that point, my slate became faster. I didn't want the Braille writer anymore, so I threw it in the closet, so I wasn't touching this Braille writer anymore. And so I just started slating everything. Because I got another Braille writer in college, and I just didn't want to use it because it was just too heavy, too noisy, too bulky. So I gotta leave it at home and in my closet, and I haven't seen it since. It's still in my closet, by the way.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's how I got faster. And then they wanted me to write this one, when I attended the department, the blind, they wanted me to write a page. They still wanted me to take Braille. I'm like, oh gosh, why do I need to take Braille, any more Braille? I think I'm already saved.
I was gonna say, I'm like, Soo Kee is a pretty smart person.
So then they made me take Braille too. So.
Aye.
And that's where I just became just all that practice and writing and stuff.
Yeah. So as you can see, my friends, you guys are like I think you guys are trying to say, Wendy, where's the important stuff? Well, we're trying to get there. I'm just warming up my friend up. We'll get to the spicy stuff. So if you feel comfortable answering these questions, you can. You don't have to. But did your parents, as a kid, did your parents accept your blindness or they denied it?
My parents were actually pretty good at accepting my blindness. They had me do everything. I had to do all the chores. Mm-hmm. I had to go out with the family. I had to learn how to cook. So I was going to learn how to be independent.
Yeah.
We also played a lot of games together, which I had to participate in. I had to participate in all the religious events that they did, the youth events. But every now and then, like some of the youth events I couldn't participate in because they thought that was like the visual. They had the youth dances that I couldn't be a part of. There were once in a while different visual things that I couldn't participate in. And that kind of really frustrated me, but they didn't know how I was going to, and nobody wanted to really assist me there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the most part, my parents were pretty good.
Cool, because there's parents out there, some parents out there who they don't want to accept their child that they have like a disability such as blindness, death, or unverbal. Do you have any advice for those parents to listen to their children if they have a disability? What is one advice would you give them?
I would say make sure that the child participates in everything, because it gets them that it's now, you never know what the child might be interested in,
Mm-hmm.
or it gets them the disability out there.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what you want, is you want the public to know that we can do things and we're capable of doing things, and that allow parents to know that their child can still be a normal child.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice advice, my friend. So you mentioned that you went to the Center for the Blind. Do you want to collaborate, like your experiences, or not really?
I had a lot of my skills coming into the Colorado Center. High school, I was taught by, TVI, and my parents were pretty good at making sure. But I felt that I was not ready to go to college because I didn't have the college readiness skills that I needed.
Yeah.
And so I attended the Colorado Center wanting the more college readiness
Mm-hmm.
skills, and maybe to work a little more on my blindness skills, because you can never, you can always be better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And my parents thought, my parents were thought that that's where I should go after high school, so I can figure out what I want to do with my life, because I really did not know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought I wasn't really ready. I didn't have the skills I needed. So I attended the Colorado Center. I didn't really want to be there for a while, so I fought it for a little, and so I guess I got used to it, and then I graduated, and I still had no idea what to do with my life. I was just kind of like, man, now you tell me I got to live on my own, but I don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
So then my roommate, Amanda, from the center, I shared a room with for a while, apartment with, and she's also legally blind. Mm-hmm. And partially deaf.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't work out. And then I attended college for a little bit. I was struggling through college because I didn't know what I wanted to do in college. And I kind of dropped out of college for a little bit. Went back. I think I tried to attend college a few times. Then I got a boyfriend, and I was trying to get him, since he's interested in computers, I tried to get him to go to college and try to see if he can get a computer programming degree or networking or something. And the only way I was able to do that is if I went into the same degree. That worked maybe for a semester. So I went to my first computer class, got an A in that. He got a C, and he dropped out. And I was like, man, I'm unhappy because I did not want a computer degree. So I dropped out of college again. Then I went back to college and thought I was going to get a Spanish degree, and they didn't have it at that college at that time. So I settled with a German degree, realizing, well, I wasn't too happy. That's not what I wanted. And I just didn't go to school. And at that time, I got into a major car crash. Somebody ran into me when I was crossing the street. And so I have like post-traumatic stress. So at that point, I felt that wasn't it. I could not travel anymore for many, many years. So I thought all my skills were gone because I stopped doing things. And I thought, why I was so depressed. And then I got a VR counselor here, moved to Iowa, and one of the couple teachers from the center I had, NAMI talked me into going back to the center, or going to the Iowa Department for the Blind, thinking maybe that might help me again. So, and she talked Alan into letting me come. And so I came to the Iowa Department for the Blind. And I guess I got my skills back, because I thought I never had them. And Alan said, you always had them. They were always there. So that was kind of the reason why I went back to the department at that point.
Yeah. No, I kind of get you. And thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's sometimes, like as you said, as you get older, sometimes you gotta go. Sometimes you can't know what you want or what you actually want to be, or which major you want to be in. Like, it's okay to like find the right major. Like, not everybody's made to go to college right now, but like, let's say in 3 years, if you're interested, you can go back to college. Or like I said to you guys, my friends, you guys know my situation. I dropped out of school, but I recently went back to school, and I'm really grateful of the opportunities that the community can tell you, and it can go for right, or if you want to do it, or if you tell yourself. But my decision to go back to college, it wasn't only just for me. A bunch of my friends told me, like, yo, like, is this right? Am I doing this right? And they're like, just go ahead, just do it and see if it is. And if it isn't, then you can always drop off and work. So many of you guys know that I use cane. But when I met my friend, she also used cane. But before, she had a guide dog, and I met her guide dog. But unfortunately, recently, her guide dog passed away. Can you tell me, how did you got your guide dog?
She didn't pass away. She had a stomach. She had stuff in her stomach and could no longer work.
Oh, I'm sorry. So.
Yeah, she got sick and had to return back to the seeing eye.
Yeah.
Well, I got a letter. I filled out the application and did all the came down here, interviewed me, did my cane travel. They checked my cane travel skills. And so I got my first dog through Seeing Eye. I went down, I got a call from them, and I went down, it was a black lab named Sheba.
Oh.
Like 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And she got sick. 2 months. It was on her birthday that we took her in. It was really sad. It was really cold, winter times, because she kept getting sick. I don't remember the disease she had, but it's normal sometimes for a dog from age 2 to 6 to have this disease. I'll probably think about it when I'm not, later when I'm not having brain problems, but so I had to wait for another dog another 4 months, and so I needed to go into the summer school because I was going to go back into college.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would have been. So that's when I got my little girl, Izzy.
Oh.
And she was a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a good girl.
Yeah, it was a good dog, honestly. She was a good dog, and I met her. I went to my friend's house back when I was living in Des Moines, Iowa for 11 months and for the Iowa Department for the Blind Orientation Center. And usually sometimes with our outings, usually I go hang out in her house. She wasn't living in the dorms with us, but she had her own place. And she had a dog and a cat. So they were really, really cute. And oh man, that dog was so adorable with me.
She was all jumping on you guys.
Yeah. She was so hyped up to play with us. And it was fun times. So, So are you a cane user or more as a guide dog user?
Right now, I'm a cane user since I don't have a dog at the moment.
Are you planning to have a guide dog in the future, or you're just going to use your cane?
I don't know yet. I'm really thinking about it. I know last time I really want to train my own dog. Mm-hmm. I think that's the idea. But I did bring a dog recently into the apartment, wanting to train it, and Fanta, my orange tabby cat, didn't like that idea because he wants to be the only animal in my home right now. So yeah. He was furious. He wants me all to himself. A jealous cat.
See.
And my friend just brought a little dog over, and again, he was a jealous cat.
I see. So, over the years, you've been blind all your life. How many canes have you broke? It doesn't have to be a correct answer. It can be like an estimate.
Broke in my lifetime or broke in a year?
A year. Or lifetime.
I might have broken one cane a year.
Oh, man. I feel you. I recently, a couple months ago, at work, at my other job, I broke my cane. The cane tip fell, and then my friend was trying to fix the cane tip, but it was like a folding cane. So he was trying to fix it. He did fix it, but when I was trying to fold it, the string popped, and I'm like, oh man, like I was like so scared. I'm like, oh man, like what's going on? Like, and I'm like, this is like my first folding cane I ever broken in my life. Like I've broken several canes when I was starting to cane travel at the center.
One time, there was a lot of times where like I'd be traveling and a car would run over my cane.
Oh man.
I'm sitting here without a cane. I was like, how do I travel now? I have no cane.
Exactly.
And there was one time that one of the organizations in Colorado brought the cane to the college, delivered it to the college because I needed it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I'd come, shoot, now I got to walk home with a broken cane or try to get around with no cane because at that point, like, okay, I'm not home. What do I do? No cane.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to have to slowly try to get myself around without a cane.
Oh, man. So how did you do it since you're completely blind? Like for me, like if my cane breaks, then yeah, I can force the other eye. But since you don't have no eyes to see,
I put one hand in front of my face, one hand in front of my stomach, and do the protection. I end up having to walk that way. It's very, very slow motion.
I see.
Or I find somebody and guide some strangers and have them take me to the bus stop. Something like.
So you're basically walking like a mummy.
Hey, you gotta do it worse, right? You gotta get around.
Yes. That's what most of my friends say. It's like you're walking like a mummy or like one of those guys, and I'm like, well, that's the best that I can do. Have you okay, be honest. Oh, have you ever cheated in a class? Like in school in general, like in school wise?
Like I cheated on a test? Yeah, I have.
Okay. So talking about school, have you struggled in school or how you managed in school?
Oh yeah, I struggle quite a bit in school. I'm not only totally blind, but I'm also dyslexic. So, school becomes very difficult.
Yeah, that's not easy. I know some people who are dyslexic, and it's not easy.
Get through college not easily.
Yeah. Is there anything that you wanted to add in one of the other questions?
I know. So I got some of the techniques that I may use, like the department or a lot of blind people don't approve of, especially when it comes to, because at the department they teach us what their NSC philosophy, which is
live the life you want.
Yeah, well, yes, live the life you want, but within reason. But it's more like, what is that? The method where it wants you to be more, to try out things and do it yourself. I forgot what it's called now.
Something about discovery.
Yes, they want you to use the discovery method, and I find, I mean, maybe because me as studying to be a teacher, an education major, that discovery does not work for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I can agree with you. I can agree with you too.
Because some people need more one-on-one.
Yes.
But also some of the skills that may work for some won't work for others.
Mm-hmm.
For example, they want you to, one of the things I was told, well, you should take your notes with a slate and stylus.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice if the problem that I also, being dyslexic and learning disabled, I can take notes with a slate and stylus, and I write pretty fast. But the problem that I have is I can't formulate the sentence quick enough to be able to take quick enough notes.
Yes. Yes.
So you have to have you have to be able to, so like my notes, I don't catch all the notes because I have trouble trying to formulate the sentence to be able to have the notes be there. So slate and stylus doesn't usually work for me there. I usually have to either record my classes and take notes. The thing is, you don't want to just rely on recording as well.
Yeah.
You want to have both the recording and take notes, so at least you're trying, even though you might not get all the notes, at least you're trying to pay attention.
Yeah. I totally get it.
Or I borrow notes from the professor, or borrow notes, or have another student's notes. That usually works as well. See, everybody has different learning styles, and the learning styles don't always match the discovery method. I know some would like to say that, that's why that works for everybody, but that's not totally true.
It's with the, what do they call it? Instruction discovery? Something with discovery, but I totally understand it because in school, like, I'm like a visually learner, so like usually sometimes when I'm in class, like sometimes I have to like fidget something in order to like be paying attention in class, and sometimes, like most of the times I record in class, or like, do you do this to your teachers? Like at advance, you tell them, like, you introduce yourself, and then you tell them, oh, I'm blind and I have dyslexia. Like, do you do that advance?
I talk to my teachers privately. I won't like talk about it in class. I think I feel more comfortable. Hey, this is me. This is what I have. This is what I need to make to participate in the class. This is what I need to get the work done. So that's kind of really important, to let your professors and your teachers know what your learning style is and what you need from it to get the most out of the class. Yeah.
And do you have to remind your professors sometimes that they, like, it's not like a purposely, oh yeah, I forgot, or like they accidentally forget that you're blind and then they hand out you something. How do you do it?
Yeah, I usually have to remind them. Some of them forget that I'm blind, or some of them forget just because they have a lot on their mind.
Yeah.
So it's normal to forget things. So just like gently reminding them.
Yeah, just not like remind them every single time. Just remind them once a while, my friend. I know that on TikTok, that's where I mostly do the blind content, like short ones. And a lot of people ask me, like, how do you tell your professor, like, you used to go to college and you used to go to high school, like, how do you manage that? And I'm like, it's like a friendly reminder, because a lot of teachers have 100 students per day that they have to remember who is who. And yeah, so it's normal, my friends.
Another method that I use is that I look up information on Google. So if I don't get notes out of the class, there's always information on Google that you can take notes and read off of. That will give you pretty much the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
So cause this way, then you're not going back to your recording and saying, whoa, gosh, I got to listen to the whole class over.
Exactly. That's
so
what happened.
I do that too.
Yeah, that's what happened to me in high school. But once when I realized, there's YouTube or there's Google, it's like, okay. You pretty much have all the information in your phone or in your laptop now these days.
So if you don't get all the notes in class, a lot of times you can find them on Google.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that really has helped me out.
Me too. If I need some information or a word that I didn't get, I just search it and see the examples, and I'll be like, okay, I see how it is.
Yeah, a lot of times the Google will give you better examples than maybe the teacher, like, you can't follow in class or something.
Or you fall asleep.
I've done that too, because I also have a non-24.
Yeah. I've done that sometimes, not all times.
Because I'm like terrible at going back and listening to my recordings. So a lot of times it's better for me to just like look up all the info and fill it in.
Mm-hmm. So what's your favorite subject?
Mine would be math, science.
Ooh.
And on a really good day, I do like Spanish. But
yeah, mostly math and science.
Yeah.
Nice. What is one advice would you tell to a student who is afraid to develop their disability, such as blindness, death, and
like develop, like as in, I mean, like develop.
I mean, not develop. Like they're afraid to show who they are. Like for an example, like you don't want to be ashamed. Like you're blind, you're legally blind, and you're starting to notice that your vision is fading. What is one advice would you give to that kid?
At that point, I think I would talk to the disability services first, so you can tell them what your disability is in private. Because a lot of times people are afraid to share their disability with the public. So if you can find somebody who you could talk privately, mm-hmm. like the disability services, who supposedly is supposed to understand your disability, but that doesn't always happen, you know?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So you want to talk to them, and because they're mostly going to be the one that's going to accommodate you. Mm-hmm. So you're going to tell them your disability and what accommodations you might need, and then they take that and write a letter that you send to your professors, so you don't have to do all the work.
I see.
So they'll say, this is the accommodations he or she needs, and give you the letter. But, I mean, if you really want to, if it's easier for you, you can always talk to your professors at the beginning before you start class. Mm-hmm. Because this way you can tell them, okay, I have this disability. And this is the accommodations I need. This is what I need to do well in your class. Kind of
Yeah.
thing. And so you can kind of take it from two approaches, however way you want to do it.
Yeah. That's...
Whatever way you feel more comfortable with.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that too. Just talk to the disability services too, and figure out what you want to say, and then from there you can go.
But disability services are pretty good at a lot of times writing the letter and everything for you for the teacher, so there's not a whole lot you need to say.
Exactly. Which that is a good part.
If you're really that uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not that uncomfortable, hey, just go right to your professor, write him an email saying, hey, I'm disabled. These are disabilities I have. This is the accommodations I need.
Yeah. So what would be one advice if somebody wants to grab, like, the cane, like, if they're afraid, like, using the cane or learning how to...
They don't want to use it?
Like, not use it, but they're afraid to, like, embrace it. Like, how to embrace...
I think it's just one of those things where you just take it one day at a time. There's no easy way to embrace it.
Yeah.
You just take it one day at a time, and maybe going to the center might be one way of helping, or maybe walking with a friend who's also blind might help. There's many things. It just really depends on why you're afraid of the cane. Mm-hmm. Are you afraid of the cane because, in my case, you got around and couldn't travel, and you don't feel like you can travel? Or are you afraid of the cane because you're new? Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, then maybe you need to talk to VR and getting some training, or maybe you need to talk to, if you find somebody, a blind friend who could tell you, well, maybe you need to go to the center, or maybe to give you some kind of advice as a new you.
Yeah. Yeah, and for those of you guys hearing the podcast, I am just interviewing my friend Soo Kee on her whole journey of her being blind and, like, living her life as she wants to and be independent as a woman as she is right now. So that's why I don't try to jump in, and I just want to clear out something else. My friends who are hearing the podcast, please do not leave no negativity comments, just positive comments. If you have any questions, I will love to answer them. If you have any questions to my friend Soo Kee, I can just ask her, and I will just copy and paste what she says to answer that question, because she has more knowledge than I do. I am, as I said before, I'm legally blind. I have rhigmine pigmentosa. I've been with that since I was born, and thankfully my vision has been stable for the last five years, and so I just wanted to interview one of my friends to get to know her. Thank you guys
very much for the interview. I thank you very much for the interview, and it's been really awesome talking to you all.
Yeah, so thank you, Soo Kee, again for interviewing you and taking the time for letting me interview and talk to you about the fun stuff. If you guys want more information about the centers, I will put them on the description box below. Both of them are really nice. Any center any center is nice. The Louisiana Tech Center is a nice, a good orientation center. Blind Ink is a good orientation center for the blind too.
I don't think Blind Ink is no longer exists.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I read that a couple months ago. Sadly. Right. I mean, for sure, Minnesota has some other, how do I say this? Like other...
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, the one that we went was the Iowa Department for the Blind. There's also videos that I was in. It's crazy. That's been like 5 years. Just watching. I'm actually gonna react to those videos in my YouTube channel, so stay tuned for those videos. It's kind of what I said. It was cringe and yeah. So I mainly was in television almost for 2 years, and it's been fun. Have you ever got involved with the television stuff, Soo Kee?
No, I don't get involved with that stuff.
No.
It's funny because I'm a performer.
I was gonna say.
I know, like I could perform, but man, I'm horrible with speaking.
All right. Well, that's my friend Soo Kee. And yeah, so thank you very much, my friends, for listening to this podcast. Get ready for the next podcast, episode 9, for the next upcoming podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below anything that you want. And please, just an FYI, please do not put any negativity comments. I will delete them. But if you have any good questions, put them down below. It can be about me. It can be about the community. But thank you very much for hearing the Blind World Podcast, episode number 8. Bye. Adios.